We are going to take contour one step further and actually apply it to something. Moving past a drawing that doesn't look like anything, we are going to build on what we've already learned about creating an underlying map using angle and fine-tune this with contour. We are now getting into the details and looking to finesse every nook and cranny of what we see and apply this to our angled drawings. Let's take a look at our friend the bear again. As you can see, we've built up a nice map with our broad and our subtle angles. Now we're going to make our friend a little less chiseled by adding some squiggly contour lines. Here's how it works. You follow the nooks and crannies that you see and draw them in using your angles as a guide as to where they should be placed. Now for some wizard's training and another example. So here we are, we start off with our angled drawing, and now we begin to refine this by adding our contour lines. And what I'm doing is I'm looking at the image and looking for those nooks and those crannies, and I'm moving slowly around and I'm drawing the contour, and I'm utilizing the angle that I've already established through first my broad and then subtle angles, and I'm using that as a guide as to where to place my contour lines. So I'll draw some contour and then I'll look back up at the image and I'll draw some more, and then I'll look back down at my paper, ensuring I'm in the right place. So I'm going to speed things up just a bit so that you can continue to see this whole process, and keep in mind that there's this back and forth process, and just sort of get into that groove of going back and forth and looking for contour and then drawing that to your paper and keeping it within the guide. And as you move through and as you go along, you may find that some things need to be adjusted a little bit. You might not have gotten it perfect with your angles, and that's expected. That does happen a lot. And you just adjust, and as you move around, you adjust and shift as you need to. And that's really all that I'm doing. I'm utilizing that simple process of taking my contour, and instead of it being a blind contour where it's just all over the place, I'm tying it down to something that's more structured, and that structure is what our angles have established for us. As you draw your contour, also keep in mind our mark making practice and how you can use the pencil to create harder and heavier, softer or lighter lines to further describe what you see. You are using all the tools that we've learned about thus far and putting them together. And with continual practice of these tools, you will see you are beginning to understand how to draw. In the training download, an angle drawing is provided, and you can print this out and build off of it with your contour. This will be your primary training to complete this, but for some extra wizardry, I recommend taking your angle drawings from previous assignments and completing them with contour, your own drawing from start to finish.